Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of My Wisconsin. It's a cold and blustery day, so I'm not out hiking in the woods like I normally would do today. So I decided to stay in my hometown here of Kenosha and visit the Civil War Museum. This museum has a lot of displays, some really great photographs, and different things for me to look at and to give us an idea of Civil War as it was seen here from Wisconsin. My video that I produced last year and this year when I made my visit up to the Civil War reenactment has a lot of positive feedback, so I thought today would be a great opportunity to show you the Civil War Museum here in Kenosha. So let's go check it out and see what they have to offer for us to take a look at. Alright, so I'm going to start out here on the second floor and check a couple of the galleries, and they do have some static displays here of some Civil War equipment and possible some good photographs to take a look at. I know there is a current display going on of the changing America of the Emancipation Proclamation of 1863, and then fast forward 100 years to 1963. So let's take a look around. Okay, what we're looking at here is a model 1841 6-pounder gun manufactured in Chicopee, Massachusetts. But they didn't look this good out on the battlefield. This is one of, I think, 2 cannons they have on display here at the museum. So when I start wandering around some more yet, I'm gonna see if I can find the other one and show you guys here. And if you remember my visit up to the Civil War reenactment, basically showing the way they do it, commencing firing, load, ready, and fire. So yeah, I'm going to move into the next gallery here, which is right adjacent to the cannon. And this gallery here will show the history of the U.S. from 1863 till 1963. So let's check it out. All right. Changing America, the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863 to the March on Washington 100 years later. That is pretty interesting. What do we got here? Some quotes up on the wall. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did and never will. Frederick Douglass. If you guys know your history, Frederick Douglass, make a comment below. All right, so this is where we start, 1863. Let me go around the backside here and see what this shows. Freedom's Promise. I know I'm kind of going by these pretty quick here, I'm sorry. But I want to get to this one here. I just saw it as I was coming around, the Emancipation Proclamation. And I'm trying to get the shot here without the light shining in there. All right, so we kind of jumped forward 100 years to 1963, the March on Washington. And I'm sure a lot of us of a certain age will remember this. This is before I was born, but I remember studying it quite to length when I was a student in my school year days. But yeah, some of us of a certain age will likely remember some of these images, probably from television or newsreel if that was still around at the time. That is really awesome. And there is Martin Luther King. All right, some more Martin Luther King here. The Six for Civil Rights: John Lewis, Whitney Young, A. Philip Randolph, Martin Luther King Jr., James L. Farmer, and Roy Wilkins. And again, if anybody is seeing this and they want to make a comment down below, let me know about your experiences if you know of any of these men other than who we all know, Martin Luther King. And wow, look at this photograph here. Shows all the people. Looks like an overhead view. And it looks like they're facing the camera, so I would assume that's the Lincoln Memorial looking down towards the Washington Monument. And then it talks about legacies. And again, I remember this because I was around when that happened. The ERA movement. And some really interesting posters here. Cool. All right, I'm going to go and check out some other displays and see what we can find. All right, guys, I am outside the Veterans Memorial Gallery behind me. It is dark in there, so hopefully the camera will pick up the images in there, and I apologize for the low light. As well, I will not speak because of respect to those who have fallen in defense of our country. So let's go check out the Veterans Gallery. All right, so here we are on, looks like a streetway of the 1860s. And kind of give us some examples of some of the buildings and imagery of that time. Check this out, guys. The Park City Grays, 6th Regiment, 1st Brigade, 2nd Division. Actually formed in my hometown here in Kenosha. And I read that little plaque over there, say they organized, traveled to Milwaukee, and fought in the Civil War after the news of the firing on Fort Sumter in the Civil War. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it is an extraordinary good condition for being over 100 years old. That is really cool. Can you guys hear that noise in the background? Yeah, I'm going to show you guys in a second here some of my train buffs out there. Yeah, they have a reproduction of a train car from that time period. Hello.
Reverend Asa Bailey from the First Presbyterian Church.
You are?
I'm on my way to Indianapolis to see my sister.
Oh.
I'm going to be a chaplain for one of the Indiana regiments.
Indiana Regiment?
Regiments make the appointment, you know. And my brother he lives in Indiana. I hear it will be a great temptation for our young men.
Well, you know what?
A soldier far away from home without
he's going to be talking for a bit. Pretty cool.
Strong spirit.
This has got to be the smoothest train ride I've ever been on.
With its great nature, it leads to weakness of the flesh. The Lord knows coarseness of manner. But let that bide. I say
Goodbye, good sir.
All right, starting to get into some of the displays of some of the Civil War memorabilia. And first thing I'm coming up on is some swords. Wow, those are pretty impressive swords. War guns, as we saw, or I should say more accurately, muskets. Pretty cool. All right, if you guys remember, I'm sorry if it's a little low light, but if you remember when I was up on my visit at the Civil War reenactment, I stopped at the field hospital tent, and I got a chance to look here in this box a little closer than I had before at some of the instruments. There's saw, different types of clamps, I guess, or vices, and a bunch of different scalpels. And of course there's medicines. Okay, I don't know if the camera's picking it up again. I apologize if there's any low light here. I'll try to read to you. It is the Level Guard, Company 1, 33rd Regiment, Wisconsin. And they carried this, I read on the sign, they carried this sign, the Wisconsin Regiment carried this sign on the siege of Vicksburg in Jackson, Mississippi, I believe. And if you note, there are 33 stars on that flag. All right, I came across another flag here. If you guys are fans of Big Bang Theory, Sheldon Cooper would be very proud. This one here says the Battle of Company E, 26th Illinois Infantry Volunteers. And it's got a bunch of other things down below it, but again, I'm just absolutely amazed at the condition of something of this age. Obviously, it's showing some deterioration, but the restoration experts have backed it so that it doesn't collapse any further. But I just wanted to show you this because it's just, and again, if the lighting is low, I'm sorry. That's just the way the museum is set up. But this one is really vibrant. The colors are really, really good in this. So let me scan around a couple more displays and see what we got hanging around here. All right, so you guys have seen a lot of muskets and guns here, but I wanted to show you something a little here. This looks like some types of pouches that they carried. It looks like for the U.S. side. I can't tell you what it is, but I would assume it had something to do with handling the parts that made the musket fire, bullet, cotton wadding, and probably gunpowder. But yeah, cool. Of course, there's the adjacent muskets again, more muskets. All right, one more flag for you guys. This is the garrison flag of Geesboro Point, District of Columbia, dimensions of 14'6" by 8 feet. This flag flew over the federal garrison at Geesboro Point within the District of Columbia. But again, look at the preservation is extraordinary. And look, as you can see how the stars are all hand sewn in there. Or is it machine sewn? It's hard to tell. Yeah, cool. Something from the 12th Illinois, our neighbors to the south. Hey, Illinois, love you guys. Got a lot of friends down there. All right, so I'm up on the platform here looking at this above me here, Seeing the Elephant. This is an extraordinary film, and I've seen it already once before. And I'm spinning around right at the moment, but it is a 360-degree film experience. And if you guys ever come up to the museum, I highly recommend seeing it. It's a very, very cool film. I can't film it, obviously, because of copyright, but yeah, Seeing the Elephant is a very, very cool film. I recommend it. All right, guys. Well, that is the tour of the Civil War Museum here in my hometown of Kenosha. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys want any information on the museum here or on Civil War history, go to the Wisconsin Historical Society. I'll put a link down below, and it'll link you to all the different type of historic sites they have regarding the Civil War and the history of Wisconsin as a whole. So yeah, thanks for watching. Where is my Wisconsin going? I always say I don't know. Got a couple things on the plan. As the winter comes, I do have some winter activities coming up, but gotta wait for the snow first. It has been a late, warm fall, if you guys have had one like we've had here. So a lot of the winter activities are being pushed further and further back. This is towards the end of November, so if anybody's out hunting right now, good luck hunting. I'm not a hunter myself, but I have several friends who do, so thanks for watching My Wisconsin, and we'll see you out there.